What we would have to eat, God knows. I honestly don't. I never even got that far in terms of thinking of that question. Something nice. Maybe Christmas dinner, even if it's not Christmas, because I love Christmas dinner. Anyway, compose myself. Let's move on. Question number 4 is, if you could experience another period in time, what would it be and why? For me, this was easy, and it is the 1960s and 1970s as two complete decades. I would have loved to have been of a decent or mature age during that time, because there's so much happened, so much of so historical, political, cultural significance. I made a couple of notes, just shorthand stuff. I would have been about to see JFK, Martin Luther King Jr., Woodstock, Muhammad Ali, The Clash, Motown Records, the birth of hip-hop and punk, heebie-jeebies in New York, and Stanley Kubrick, Martin Scorsese, Star Wars, and Francis Ford Coppola. Theatrical runs of those films, like original theatrical runs. That is one of my favourite periods in time. And that's just the tip of the iceberg with that list of stuff. I would have just loved to have seen that firsthand. Question number 5. Oh god, I've set myself up for more emotional trauma with these questions. Not trauma, that's the wrong word. My head's not straight, sorry guys. This is totally not relaxing, by the way, so if you dislike this, I completely understand why. But anyway, babble free, let's move on. Question number 5, what is one happy memory that will stay with you forever? Again, not a really happy memory at the time, but now that time has passed and I can kind of look at the situation in a different light. I came home in the middle of the night from university after some personal drama that had really got me down and just kind of really hurt me big time, and I couldn't stay there at the time being. I just had to get away, and the only place that I felt safe and secure and just warm and welcomed was at home. So I just got in the car at like silly o'clock in the morning and drove like 2.5, 3 hours journey home, and just coming home and being home when I felt lost, I guess. Like I said, not a very happy memory at the time, but to look back at that and to know that in the middle of like a big sort of personal issue for me, like it was something that hurt me badly, I had this place to go to, and that I didn't have to deal with it on my own, and I didn't have to feel completely lost and isolated. Really heartwarming to me, and looking back, that to me is a happy memory, to know that I had that in my life and that I still do. Name 3 places you have never been but would love to visit. Again, this is pretty easy. The first one is Japan. I do love Japanese culture, both old and contemporary. I just love it. I just find it a really fascinating place and a really fascinating culture, fascinating country with just fascinating people. That's a lot of fascinatings right there. If there's one thing this video lacks, it's not fascinating. Or the word fascinating. Yeah, I'm babbling again. I'm really tired as well, guys, I should point out. I know that's no excuse for just going off on just total tangents, but yeah. Whatevs. The second answer to that is Canada. I just adore Canada. I think Canada's got, first and foremost, and it shows just me being a music geek, but Canada has one of the best music scenes in the world right now, and has done for the last few years, and it's just continuing to grow and grow and grow, and it's just amazing. The wealth of talent coming out of that country is just incredible. Plus, everybody seems so goddamn friendly, and I've never met a Canadian that I didn't like, or spoke to a Canadian that I didn't like, and it just seems a really, really beautiful place. I'm very much a winter person, and I'm very much a creature of the cold, I guess. Living in England, that doesn't really come as much of a surprise, but yeah, Canada's always been on my list, so. And my third answer would be space. I just think it's amazing that there is all of that out there, and just the chance to see just a glimpse of that firsthand would be just spellbinding and life-changing, so yeah, space is a no-brainer for that question. I thought I was going to burp then, sorry. Question number 7. Yeah, weird question. I don't know what I was thinking of when I wrote this, but there you go. You are a crayon. Of course you are. And what colour are you, and what do you use your crayon powers to write or draw? Yeah, I kind of went with my first answer on this, because I thought if I think about this too much, I think my answers will just kind of get diluted and just won't be as good. So I just went with my first thought on here, my gut reaction, and that was to be gold colour crayon. And the reason being was that if I encountered anybody that was upset or sad and just kind of needed just peppered up for just a moment or two, I could sort of draw them a gold star and give it to them. And, you know, just put a smile on their face for a few minutes. I don't know, it's a soppy answer, but hey, there you go. So I'm a gold crayon, and that's what my crayon powers can do. This one was a killer, and I didn't really think about the complexity of it when I wrote it, but here goes. If you were limited to one book, one movie, and one CD for the rest of time, what would they be? Honestly, this is really, really hard. The book, I think, I toyed with perhaps using High Fidelity as my answer for that, because I do love that book, and it's a really easily rereadable book. So it's a toss-up between that, and I just read this year Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro, who, just that book, it is pretty bleak, but it's also very kind of life-affirming in many ways, and very much an eye-opening book, and there's just a real sense of romance and camaraderie in there, so I don't know, it's a toss-up between those two, to be honest. I don't think I can pick one, so I would put both of them on the table and just pick by random and be happy with whichever I got. For the album, now it's so hard, but I think that I would go with Transatlanticism by Def Cab for Cutie, because I think it, as much as I love Heartbreak, and as much as you all know I love that album by now, Transatlanticism is just wow. I mean, it's got it really kind of has a brilliant balance of kind of sad melancholy with upbeat kind of whimsical charm to it. So yeah, I would go for that, because if you're stuck with one album for the rest of time, you know, you want something that you can kind of zone in and focus on and kind of find some kind of emotional or personal attachment. Yeah, you don't want that all the time, because otherwise you'd just be totally mardy all the time. So, you know, you want something that you can kind of feel good about when listening to, and that album has both of those in good measure. So yeah, the film, for the similar reasons, because it's pretty well balanced, and it's not because it's not one of my I love the film, but I don't know if I would put it as one of my all-time favourites, but it's 500 Days of Summer, and again, that's got moments of kind of melancholy and introverted thinking, but yet also has a lot of whimsical charm to it. I think I've kind of gone for more balance. Not necessarily my favourites, but definitely things that would serve me well and would have a reusable quality to them, I think. You know, things I could use in different moods. I'll give myself a bit of leeway, but yeah, that was a tough question. And I think that's the one that has stumped people the most. So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. But then again, I'm not really, because it's an interesting question, and it gets you guys to think about stuff. hopefully that nightmarish scenario will never ever occur. I've gone on so much longer than I thought I would, and it looks like I'm going to have to split this in two. So if you're listening to this bit, yeah, well done for getting through two separate bits. Yeah, I don't know what else I want to say. That is my 8 questions and 8 answers right there. As I said before, back in part 1, the bit that you listened to before this one, yeah. I will put the 8 questions up in the swimsuit area again, for those who haven't had a go but fancy having a stab at it. I think they're pretty interesting questions, and thank you to everybody who has had a go so far. I have absolutely loved your answers, and it seems like everyone's kind of struggled with some of the same questions. But yeah, it's been great checking them out and listening to your answers. I really should not make videos when I'm tired. But yeah, anyway, yeah, just a big thank you for everyone that's took part, and a big thank you for everyone that's gonna have a go at it. It's a bit of fun, and right now, I think what this community needs at the moment is just a sense of fun. Again, it's great that we're all helping each other and being of use towards one another in times where we need it, but we should never ever really forget that this is a place of positivity, and I think throwing in the odd fun video like a tag video and whatnot helps kind of top up the momentum for that. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. But thank you for listening, and thank you for your continued support, guys. You make me proud of each and every one of you all the time, and it's an absolute pleasure to be making videos for people. So yeah, I should also say, if you've got any requests of stuff that you would like to see me try or sort of chance my arm at, then that would be interesting. I'd like to kind of get a gauge on what you guys would maybe like to see me have a go at, or what you think I'd be quite good at doing. So yeah, please, any ideas or requests, don't hesitate to either leave a comment or just message me. Either way, be greatly accepted. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Whatever you're doing, be safe, look after yourself, and enjoy whatever you're doing. Ciao, Bella.